Three, Jpmorgan executives have left the bank this past week to go work in crypto. The exodus out of traditional finance continues. We also have a massive hedge fund that is looking to hire crypto experts as they look to invest more into the industry. And huge news around XRP. There's a smart contract functionality that has been released. This is pretty significant, and I think it's going to be very competitive in the world of smart contract blockchains. And we're also going to talk about the US telling Japan to close their exchanges and stop mining operations in Russia. Crypto is becoming a geopolitical tool. Let's break it down. Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform, please give me a 5-star rating. Quick word from our sponsor, and that is Link2, which makes private equity investment easy. Link2 is democratizing the process and allowing individual accredited investors to be able to take positions in crypto companies and tech companies. Previously, you had to be part of a large venture capital firm or a hedge fund to do this. You couldn't get access. But once again, Link2 is democratizing that process. Some of the crypto companies you can invest in include Ripple, BitPay, Uphold, Abra, and many others. And Link2 continues to expand their portfolio. So if you'd like to learn more, please check out the link in the description. Now, let's look at Bitcoin, because right now the price is looking pretty good. Bitcoin is over $21,000, but it's pretty much hitting that 200-week moving average line. So nothing to call home about. And this could certainly be a relief rally, and then we dump to lower prices. I don't think this is some sort of big pump ahead. And we could certainly see some major sell-off next week, especially with the CPI numbers coming in and markets taking a hit across the board. So remember, we are in a bear market, so expect a further downside. The question is, when will we see the bottom, and have we hit the bottom, right? And how long will we be there before things start moving up? Now, I've done interviews with various guests and traders and people who look at the market holistically and have a lot of experience. And many are still saying, hey, there's more pain to come. And if many of you saw my interview with Greg Dickerson just from yesterday, we talked about this, and it's all under the control of the Fed at this point. And as they continue to raise rates, all markets are going to suffer at this point. So we just got to wait out this bear market. But it's a great accumulation opportunity before we move upwards. Buy the lows, sell the highs, of course. Now, there is a macro level chart I want to share with you guys from an analyst who's made some pretty accurate calls in the past. Now, that does not mean that he is right this time around. I want to make sure I say that, guys. Just because he's been right, let's say 3-4 times in the past, does not mean he's right now. So he thinks that the Bitcoin bottom may be in based on his chart here. But he even said, calling attention to this will no doubt jinx my lucky streak. But for what it's worth, here are all my Bitcoin related calls for market capitulation. So he called it, and he showed his tweets and the timelines over the years going back to 2015 when we've hit the bottoms before moving upwards. So I hope he's right. I certainly want the bottom to be in here because I don't want us to go too low where it's going to take longer to dig out of that hole. And, the higher, lower low, I should say, or the high low that we can establish will be better for higher prices when the bull market comes back. So let's see what happens. Once again, there's a lot of thesis out there, and we just got to make sure we're prepared for all scenarios. I've seen some comments, people say, hey, dude, don't talk about price, you never get it right. Well, I never make a guaranteed call, and I always tell you guys, none of this is guaranteed. These are probabilities. I'm giving you different scenarios and perspectives so you can be educated as an investor and look at all things. But can I accurately predict what's going to happen next week? Of course not. Yes, I can make a guess and a guesstimate, and maybe that comes to pass. Maybe it doesn't. I've made some good calls in the past, but no one can predict these things. That's why I give you guys both the bull and the bear scenarios. And I think those of you who understand investing and understand we're looking at probabilities and different theses, we have to look at all the aspects. We can't just be bearish and we can't just be bullish. You have to look at all scenarios. So this is interesting. Once again, I hope the bottom is in, but my gut tells me no. Now, some big news, guys, from XRP Labs, which is, of course, funded by the folks at Ripple, helping developers to continue to build on the XRP ledger. And it is, part of the guy who runs it is, or I should say the folks who run it is Weist Win, if I'm saying his name correctly. He created this Zum wallet and so forth. Well, here's what they tweeted out. 2 years ago, we embarked on a journey to design smart contract features for the XRP ledger. July 30th, 2020, we published a blog with the title XRP Labs is working on the hooks and a hooks amendment for the XRP ledger, supporting business logic integration for developers. In the past 2 years, we went through discussing, designing, documenting, building, testing, benchmarking, more building, etc., many iterations, resulting in a first public testnet. It really worked. Early 2021. A few months ago, we silently launched Hooks testnet version 2. We are very proud to announce that we now squashed 2 years of work into one commit and submitted a pull request to the new Hooks branch of the Rippled repository. We're ready to kick off the discussion, testing, and audits to turn Hooks into an amendment ready for prime time. To allow everyone to get familiar with Hooks, build them, test them, share them, break them. We also work with the great people at Equilibrium. And Equilibrium, their profile reads, we design and build core infrastructure for decentralized web. So this is interesting. And they said here, we are also announcing the Hooks Builder, a web-based development environment allowing devs to build, test, deploy, and trigger and debug. The XRP Ledger Foundation now houses the Hooks source code, Hooks Builder, and all helper libraries. You can visit the Hooks landing page containing docs, Explorer, GitHub, links, and Builder at hooks.xrpl.org. One step closer to layer one smart contracts for the XRP ledger. Guys, this is big because for years, it's been talked about, where is the smart contract technology named Codius that was being worked on and many different things. Even Ripple's David Schwartz, he talked about when Ethereum's Vitalik Buterin, Ethereum founder, Vitalik Buterin, was hanging around their office at that time. And he almost wishes they went the direction of building smart contracts because Ethereum did that, and look what happened to Ethereum, right? And even the smart contract blockchains that followed did really well because smart contracts are huge for crypto, guys, and the future of how things will be transacted. So this is a big update. The TLDR is smart contracts are coming. Obviously, this needs to be fully implemented, but they're allowing people to come in and test now, break it, do whatever you need to do. So this is very bullish news. Now, Weist Win, he tweeted out the following today, still sinking in that the XRP ledger now has a testnet offering smart contracts, real ones, layer one. By community devs, zero Ripple developers involved, guess it's time to educate the crypto space that some of the FUD really makes no sense. And he tweeted out some imagery. Now, someone did ask a great question to Weist about can the XRP ledger support this? And I want to make sure I give you guys the answer to that. This is important. So here are some questions that were asked to Weist. XRP smart contracts, how? They tried to do this years ago. That was called Codius, right? And now the community done this. How does it work? Now, the English here is a bit bad, but he said, right. And this is Weist's response. In the defense of previous attempts, implementations, and mentioned disadvantages, we built this on today's tech, making this viable. Lots of background info, history journey here. So he points to the posts regarding the details of this. So essentially he's saying that this iteration made it easy to be able to do because obviously the Codius was not able to be pushed forward. Other iterations of smart contract upgrades or additions were not able to be done successfully. So this is great. And this is why you need continued building and tweaking and things happening, right? So very, very cool. And another question one guy said was, wait, how is this smart contract different from the EVM? So EVM means Ethereum virtual machine. He said different syntax and methods, but both allow you to run custom code, execution rules on ledger storage, etc. So this is pretty cool, guys. And one person said, how is the speed and scalability compared to the other layer ones? Example, Ethereum. He said, hardly to not impacted. The XRP ledger will stay as fast and stays super cheap regarding the fees. So this is cool, guys. I'm actually excited about this. And I think this opens up a whole world of possibilities for building on the XRP ledger. I'm going to try to get an interview with Weiss to talk about this and see what he has to say. But bullish news, in my opinion, if you hold XRP and another smart contract competitor entering the market here, and given the other benefits already to the XRP ledger with fees and transactions per seconds and scalability, I think this is going to be a big competitor. Now, as always, I keep it real with you guys. Still has to be something that's pushed through entirely and stress tested and all that, right? Real world. But I'm optimistic that, they've got this right. So another big news that was shared today, Banxa, which is the leading global on and off ramp solution. They said our mission is to accelerate the world of Web3 and beyond. They said we're pumped to announce that USA on XRP.com users can now buy XRP using Banxa's fiat on ramp. So interesting, that you can do this because of the lawsuit. Many exchanges, delisted XRP. So very, very interesting that this is happening. Now, something I want to let you guys know, it actually occurred earlier in June, but the folks at the Faster Payments Council retweeted this yesterday. And that is, they're working with Ripple to do a crypto and payment survey. And it's very interesting, just shows the connections that Ripple has, guys. And we know some of the folks on Ripple's team, like Craig DeWitt, are sitting on the board of the Faster Payments Council, which includes banks and all types of companies and merchants and so forth. If you don't know what the US Faster Payments Council is, go check it out. So this is a huge connection, a huge partnership, and the fact that they're working together to do cryptos and payments surveys and to get data and insights is pretty cool. Now let's move ahead. 3 executives leave Jpmorgan this week to join crypto firms. The latest exits are former managing director Eric Rag, if I'm saying that right, and digital innovation lead Pooja Samuel. So this is pretty amazing, and they're leaving some of the biggest traditional financial players like Jpmorgan, Goldman Sachs to go work in crypto, right? We've seen this, many of these reports coming out, top talent leaving, and that should give you confidence in the asset class, guys, that even if we're in a bear market, it's bloody, it's hard to know that be patient. People are leaving, they're coming in, they're building these blockchains are, tweaking their product and their services and making multiple iterations, just as we talked about the XRP ledger. So things are moving ahead, and we just got to be patient and wait through the market cycles. So it's been something of a banner week for people departing mega bank Jpmorgan to join the cryptocurrency industry, with 3 executives taking the plunge despite a looming crypto winter. The latest leavers include Eric Rag, if I'm saying that right, a former managing director at Jpmorgan with 21 years tenure at the bank. He joined the Algorand blockchain project as head of business development and capital markets. Now, I'm very bullish on Algorand, guys. And I remember there's also another person who left Jpmorgan to go work at Algorand. Her name is Stacy. I think I forgot her last name, but we're just seeing, guys, it's just amazing. These people are making this big leap, and it just shows they see what's on the horizon, that this is the future. Also announcing a new job this week in crypto, Pooja Samuel, formerly a head of ideation and digitization at Jpmorgan based in New York City, joins digital currency group Coinbase's parent company as head of corporate development. Already this week, CoinDesk reported that former Jpmorgan banker Samir Shah had left the bank to become chief operating officer at cryptocurrency-focused investment firm Pantera Capital. Now, Pantera Capital has been around for a long time. That is Dan Moorhead. I've interviewed Dan Moorhead. If you haven't seen my interview with him, definitely check it out. He's a very smart guy. He was ahead of the curve before a lot of folks, before all these hedge fund guys now coming in. Dan Moorhead was here in like 2013, 2015, setting up, one of the first investment funds into crypto. So it's just amazing. When I see stuff like this, my confidence level in my decision to invest in crypto and even work in crypto just increases more than it already has been. So this is pretty amazing what's happening. Now, check this out. Point72 Asset Management in early innings of big crypto push. Blockworks exclusive Steve Cohen's hedge fund heavyweight is looking to hire at least 2 senior crypto-focused professionals. Now, I've talked about different news regarding Point72 and Steve Cohen, and he's a big player. Point72 is a big-time player. We're not talking about some overnight hedge fund here, and they've been around for a while, a lot of money under management. And look at what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring talent on. And once again, not in a bull market, in a bear market. So guys, it's amazing what's happening. So the firm, which is run by founder Steve Cohen and trades a wide variety of traditional financial assets, including equities, commodities, and debt, is looking to hire a couple of senior blockchain-focused professionals, including a head of crypto technology, who would report to Mark Brubaker, the firm's chief technology officer. Brubaker, sources said, has been conducting interviews with potential candidates in recent weeks, with some introductions coming by the way of third-party recruiting outfit focused on crypto. The second role would be more of a head of digital asset operations, which could or would encompass coordinating efforts between middle and back office teams that support portfolio managers and analysts. Additional junior and mid-level hires are in the works. So they're essentially building out their team here, guys, to make more investments in crypto than they've already done. And clearly, if you're looking to, do more and advance, what your strategy and your investments and so forth, you're going to need the bodies, you're going to need the resources. So they're hiring the talent. And once again, that should make you bullish. It just shows their outlook and where they're seeing the market will head. They know they're going to make a return on their investment. Now let's move ahead. The United States has urged Japan to shut down crypto exchanges and mining operations in Russia. This is significant, my friends, on multiple levels. One, the fact that the United States has put sanctions on Russia and they're also looking to stop whatever they're doing and from a crypto standpoint shows how big crypto has gotten, right? It's become a geopolitical thing now. So we are now in the big leagues, my friends. I got into the market in 2016. None of this stuff was happening. None of this news, the hedge funds, the banks, and all that. But now it's happening, and it's going to continue. So that's interesting. The other aspect is that they see that Russia certainly has an advantage when it comes to crypto mining because of Siberia. Remember what Putin said in January. He made some very bullish public statements saying Russia has a huge advantage when it comes to Bitcoin mining, and that he was calling for the government officials to pass clear regulations. And then in the same note, Ukraine adopted crypto very fast because of the situation being invaded and all that. And I remember, I think it was last year, reporting about large amounts of mining equipment being shipped to Siberia. And I think they're doing a lot of mining up there because of the weather, right? Cool environment. And they can probably get cheap electricity. So it just shows where crypto has come from and where it's going, guys. We are just in the political crosshairs now, geopolitics and so forth. Now, some confirmation that Tether has bailed out Celsius Networks. We talked about it in the news this past week. Tether, the world's largest stablecoin issuer, liquidated a $900 million loan made to crypto lender Celsius Network. And we don't know all the details, but we heard that Tether pretty much bailed out Celsius Network, right? And as I said in the video this past week, I'm thankful that Celsius is not on the brink of collapse anymore. That they're not part of, going to be liquidated, because that would be pretty detrimental for the market, guys. Whether you love or hate Celsius, it's not about that. It's just like, hey, no more black swan events, please, so that we don't have, further downside and pain and be in the crosshairs of some of these regulators like Gary Gensler, who's waiting, who's chomping at the bit for stuff like this to happen so he can bring draconian laws. Now, something else here with 3 Hours Capital, and I've been tweeting about this. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, please do. Link in the description. I've been saying that everybody at 3 Hours Capital should be banned from crypto forever. Some people were calling me out saying, hey, that's not the free market. Now, it's being a bit tongue in cheek, but at the same time, I don't think people should give them capital to invest in crypto again. They can go invest in other markets. I'm not saying they shouldn't invest at all, but it's kind of like, you guys don't know what the hell you're doing. Nobody's going to give you money again, right? It looks like some litigation is coming their way, so they might be feeling the pain. So with litigation likely, venture capital fund Defiance takes aim at 3 Hours Capital. Man, I think it was reported this week too, blockchain.com took a big loss because of 3 Hours Capital. I don't know why all these companies were in bed with 3 Hours Capital. I don't know if they weren't checking their books, but this is bad, man. It's not just one company, right? Voyager felt it, and they're filing bankruptcy. This is crazy, really, really crazy. So let's see what happens. And I think some harsh regulations are going to come as a result. And once again, these people, it's kind of like Bernie Madoff, right? You know that you shouldn't now not give money to Bernie Madoff. Well, 3 Hours Capital is not going to be as high profile. I don't even know who runs 3 Hours Capital, by a first name basis, I should say. But the idea is, please, anybody out there, don't give these people money. Like, if they're connected to 3 Hours Capital anyway, don't do it, because this is just a mess. This is unbelievable, man. And a lot of companies are taking huge hits. And obviously it trickles down to us, the users, the consumers, right? You saw Celsius locked everything. Voyager locked everything. Hopefully people get their money and their funds and their coins. It really sucks. This is why I self-custody. I know some people use Celsius for lending. Hell, I used it at one point. I was using more BlockFi. BlockFi got lucky. They got bailed out by FTX. But nevertheless, I hope everybody stays away from the people at 3 Hours Capital. Anyway, guys, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.